The water is black, not from pollution or depth, but from tannins leaching out of decaying vegetation. The Rio Negro, a tributary of the Amazon, holds secrets beneath its surface, and along its banks something watches. A jaguar, male, approximately 110 kilograms of pure muscle and bone-crushing power. He moves through the flooded forest without sound. Each paw placement is deliberate. The forest floor here disappears under seasonal flooding for half the year, creating a labyrinth of submerged roots and floating vegetation. This cat is not hunting deer, not hunting capybara. He's hunting something far more dangerous. Beneath the surface, a shadow shifts. 4 meters long, over 300 kilograms. A black caiman, the largest predator in the Amazon basin. Armored skin reinforced with osteoderm's bony plates that act like natural body armor. Jaws capable of generating over 7,000 newtons of bite force. This is not prey in the conventional sense. This is an apex predator, yet the jaguar has no choice. The dry season is tightening its grip. Fish populations have dropped. Capybaras have migrated to deeper water sources. The flooded forest that provides cover is receding, exposing mudflats and sandbars. Competition with other jaguars has intensified. The caiman represents something rare in nature, high-calorie prey that stays in one location. But there's a problem. A 300-kilogram armored reptile does not submit easily. The jaguar stops, crouches low. His eyes lock onto ripples, forming 30 meters downstream. The caiman is basking. Half submerged on a partially exposed log, its tail trails into the water. The reptile's eyes are closed, but this is deceptive. Crocodilians maintain awareness, even in rest. Their sensory systems detect vibrations through both water and substrate. The jaguar begins his approach, not from land. That would be suicide. Caimans accelerate explosively over short distances on solid ground. Instead, he enters the water, silently. His body slips beneath the surface with almost no disturbance. Jaguars are among the most aquatic of all big cats. Their paws are partially webbed. Their muscle density allows for powerful strokes. They can hold their breath for extended periods while stalking. The water conceals him, but it also limits his mobility. 15 meters now. The caiman hasn't moved. The jaguar's head breaks the surface just enough for his eyes and nostrils to remain above water. This is crocodilian behavior. He's adopted the hunting strategy of his intended prey. The irony is profound. A mammalian predator using reptilian stealth to hunt a reptile. 10 meters. The caiman's tail twitches. A reflex. Nothing more, but the jaguar freezes completely. Even his breathing pauses. 5 seconds pass. 10. The caiman settles. The jaguar advances. But now he faces a critical decision. Where to strike? Caimans possess thick, keratinized scales across most of their body. The back is protected by those osteodermed bone embedded directly into the skin. A bite to the torso would be ineffective. The tail is muscular and powerful, capable of whipping with enough force to break bones. There are only 2 viable targets. The neck, just behind the skull where scales are thinner, or the skull itself. Most predators choose the neck. It's the safer option. Less risk of tooth damage. But jaguars have evolved something unique. Their skull morphology is different from other big cats. Shorter, broader. The sagittal crest, the ridge of bone atop the skull, is more pronounced. This provides attachment points for masseter muscles that are disproportionately large. The result, the highest bite force quotient of any big cat. Pound for pound, no feline bites harder. This adaptation exists for one reason: skull penetration. 5 meters. The jaguar submerges completely. He's now invisible beneath the tannin-stained water. Only the faintest current betrays his movement. The caiman remains motionless. Basking reptiles enter a state of reduced metabolic activity, energy conservation, but their sensory systems remain active. The lateral line system in crocodilians detects pressure changes in water. The dome pressure receptors scattered across their scales can sense the approach of prey, or predators. 2 meters. The jaguar rises, explodes from the water in a single violent motion. Water cascades off his spotted coat. His jaws open. Target: the back of the caiman's skull. The caiman reacts instantly. Its head whips toward the threat. Jaws snap, but the jaguar is already inside the caiman's strike radius. The reptile's defensive bite closes on empty air. Contact. The jaguar's canines puncture the caiman's skull just behind the orbits. Not a crushing bite, a piercing one. Jaguar canines are uniquely adapted for this. They're not just sharp, they're reinforced. The enamel is thicker at the tip than in other big cats. The roots are deeper, anchored more securely into the jaw. This allows them to penetrate bone without fracturing. But the caiman is not subdued. Its body thrashes. The tail whips sideways, striking the jaguar's hindquarters. The impact is massive. Over 300 kilograms of muscle and bone moving at high velocity. The jaguar's grip loosens. For a moment, it seems the caiman might escape. But the jaguar does not release. His jaw muscles lock. The temporalis muscles, those attached to the sagittal crest, contract with enough force to maintain the bite, even as his body is thrown sideways. The caiman rolls. A death roll. This is the crocodilian's primary killing technique. Rotation around the longitudinal axis, using the prey's own body weight to tear flesh and break bones. But there's a problem. The jaguar is not gripping the caiman's body. He's gripping its skull. And skulls don't tear easily. Instead, the roll pulls the jaguar into the water. Both animals submerge. The struggle continues below the surface. Bubbles erupt. The water churns brown and white. For 15 seconds, nothing is visible. Then 20, 30. The jaguar surfaces, still attached. The caiman surfaces beside him, but something has changed. The reptile's movements are erratic, uncoordinated. The jaguar's bite has penetrated into the brain case, not deeply. Crocodilian brains are small, well protected, but the pressure is enough to disrupt motor function. The caiman's tail thrashes once more, then stops. The jaguar begins pulling. He drags the caiman toward the bank. Not easy. Even in water, 300 kilograms of dead weight resists movement. The jaguar's shoulder muscles strain. His claws dig into the muddy substrate. Inch by inch, he hauls his prize towards solid ground. 5 minutes later, the caiman is beached. The jaguar releases his bite. He's breathing heavily. His flanks heave. Hunting a black caiman is energetically expensive. The struggle alone burned calories equivalent to several days of normal activity. But the reward justifies the cost. A single caiman provides enough protein and fat to sustain a jaguar for over a week. The jaguar begins feeding, but not immediately on the flesh. First, he targets the soft tissue, eyes, tongue. These are nutrient-dense and easy to access. Only after consuming these does he turn to the body. His carnassial teeth specialize shearing teeth in the back of the jaw slice through the softer underbelly. The osteoderms on the back remain largely intact. They're too dense, too difficult. Evolution has taught jaguars efficiency. Extract maximum nutrition with minimum effort. Over the next 3 days, the jaguar will return to this carcass repeatedly. Caimans decompose slowly in tropical heat, but carrion feeders, vultures, smaller cats, insects will compete for access. The jaguar must feed quickly or defend his kill. Each visit risks confrontation, but the calories are worth it. This interaction is not rare. Studies in the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland, document jaguars preying on caimans regularly. Roughly 20% of jaguar diets in some regions consist of reptiles, primarily caimans and large turtles. The behavior is learnt. Young jaguars observe their mothers. They practice on smaller Jaguar caimans before attempting black caimans. But here's the critical detail. This hunting strategy only works because of specific evolutionary adaptations. The bite force, the tooth structure, the skull morphology. Remove any one of these and the jaguar fails. A leopard, similar in size, cannot kill a large caiman, but puma, equally powerful, cannot penetrate the skull. The jaguar's anatomy is uniquely suited to this niche. And the caiman, it's not defenseless. In other encounters, the outcome reverses. Adult black caimans have been documented killing and consuming jaguars, particularly younger or smaller individuals. The riparian environment favors the reptile. On land, the jaguar dominates. In deep water, the caiman has the advantage. The outcome depends on location, size, experience. This is not a guaranteed victory. It's a calculated risk, one that evolution has made slightly more favorable for the jaguar, but only slightly. The sun sets over the Rio Negro. The jaguar remains beside his kill. His spotted coat blends into the dappled shadows. Somewhere downstream, another black caiman floats, waiting, watching. The cycle continues. 2 apex predators, 1 ecosystem. The balance is delicate. And in the Amazon, survival is never simple.